I've seen it countless times in my practice. A patient in their early 60s comes in, frustrated by how everyday tasks feel harder than they used to. They say things like, "I just don't feel as strong anymore," or "walking upstairs wears me out." And often they follow it with a sigh and say, "But I guess that's just part of getting older, right?" But here's the truth I always share with them. No, losing muscle and vitality with age is not something we just have to accept. Have you or someone close to you ever noticed your legs feeling weaker, your balance a bit off, or tasks like standing up from a chair requiring more effort? These are often early signs of a condition that's far more common and far more preventable than most people think: sarcopenia. It's the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that tends to creep in quietly after the age of 60. And if left unchecked, it can significantly limit our independence and quality of life. Now, let me ask you something. If you could make a few simple, delicious changes to your daily routine and see real improvements in your strength, energy, and overall health, wouldn't you want to try? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Because while sarcopenia is a real challenge, the good news is that nature has already given us powerful allies in this fight, and you might already have them in your kitchen. Today, I want to introduce you to 5 fruits that go far beyond just being healthy snacks. These fruits have been studied for their unique properties, from reducing inflammation and improving blood flow, to directly supporting muscle repair and regeneration. I'm talking about the creamy avocado, the tart Montmorency cherry, the vibrant pomegranate, the humble dried plum, and the everyday apple. Each one plays a specific role in protecting and strengthening your muscles. Let's start with a simple truth. Muscle loss with age doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, silent process that begins as early as our 30s and accelerates as we enter our 60s and beyond. Without intervention, we can lose up to 8% of our muscle mass each decade. That's not just about losing strength. It's about losing mobility, balance, and ultimately, independence. The good news: this process can be slowed down and even reversed with the right strategies. Sarcopenia isn't just about physical strength. It's deeply connected to how our bodies use nutrients, respond to inflammation, and maintain hormonal balance. That's why food plays such a central role, and fruits, often overlooked in conversations about muscle health, are surprisingly powerful. They're rich in antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and natural substances that signal the body to preserve and build muscle tissue. Let's begin with the avocado, often thought of as a fat-rich food, but it's the type of fat that matters here. Avocados are full of monounsaturated fats and potassium, which support muscle function and reduce inflammation. They also provide magnesium, essential for muscle contractions and recovery. Think of avocado as a muscle-protective fruit that also supports heart health and energy levels. Next comes the Montmorency cherry, also known as the tart cherry. These little red gems are packed with anthocyanins, compounds that give them their rich color and powerful anti-inflammatory effect. Research shows that tart cherry juice can reduce muscle soreness after exercise and improve muscle recovery. For older adults, that means less pain, better sleep, and more capacity to stay active without setbacks. The pomegranate is a symbol of vitality in many ancient cultures, and modern science backs that up. Its juice is rich in nitrates, which help improve blood flow to muscles, enhancing performance and reducing fatigue. Pomegranate also contains polyphenols that protect muscle cells from oxidative stress, a key factor in age-related muscle decline. Then we have dried plums, yes, prunes. Often associated with digestive health, they're actually packed with boron, potassium, and antioxidants that help preserve muscle and bone. Studies have shown that older women who eat prunes regularly maintain better grip strength and muscle function. It's a small change with a surprisingly big impact. Finally, let's talk about the apple, a fruit so common that we often overlook its power. But research shows that apples contain a compound called ursolic acid, especially concentrated in the peel, which may stimulate muscle growth and reduce muscle breakdown. Apples are also rich in fiber and antioxidants that help fight chronic inflammation, keeping the body more resilient and active. Imagine that. Something as simple as eating an apple a day could make a real difference in your physical strength. Now, you might be wondering, Doctor, does this really work? Can eating fruit actually change my body at 60, 70, or even 80 years old? And the answer, backed by both science and my clinical experience, is yes. Of course, it's not magic. No single fruit is a miracle cure. But regular intentional consumption of these fruits, combined with an active lifestyle, can profoundly and sustainably improve your muscle health. Let's look at the data. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology showed that older adults who included more antioxidant-rich fruits like cherries and pomegranates in their diet had better muscle function and less inflammation. Another research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found a strong correlation between fruit intake and grip strength, a key indicator of muscle health in older populations. These are not just anecdotes. They're measurable, repeatable outcomes. But why do these fruits work so well? It all comes down to how aging affects our cells. As we grow older, our muscles become more sensitive to oxidative stress and inflammation. These processes damage muscle fibers and slow down regeneration. Fruits rich in polyphenols like pomegranate and cherries help neutralize these harmful molecules, protecting muscle cells and promoting recovery. At the same time, fruits like avocado and prune provide key micronutrients, magnesium, potassium, boron, that are often lacking in older adults' diets. These nutrients play essential roles in muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and the preservation of lean mass. Think of them as the silent supporters of muscular health. You don't see them, but you feel the difference when they're there. Another key factor is circulation. As we age, blood flow to our muscles naturally decreases, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery. That's where nitrate-rich fruits like pomegranate come in. They help dilate blood vessels and enhance perfusion, meaning your muscles get more of what they need to stay strong and recover faster. Improved circulation also means better stamina, quicker healing, and more energy for daily activities. And then there's inflammation, the invisible culprit behind so many age-related problems, including sarcopenia. Chronic low-grade inflammation eats away at muscle tissue over time. Tart cherries, thanks to their high anthocyanin content, have been shown to significantly reduce markers of inflammation like CRP, C-reactive protein. Less inflammation means more muscle retention and less pain after activity. Many people assume you need protein shakes and expensive supplements to maintain muscle as you age. While protein is important, the body also needs the right environment to use that protein effectively. That's where these fruits come in. They optimize the internal landscape so your muscles can respond better to both nutrients and movement. Imagine this. You wake up with more energy, feel steadier on your feet, and don't dread climbing stairs or lifting groceries. That's the difference small, consistent choices can make over time. And these fruits are not exotic or expensive. You can find them at your local grocery store, and even grow some of them at home. So here's the takeaway so far. Muscle loss is not inevitable. With the right support, your body is capable of rebuilding, renewing, and regaining strength, even in your later years. These 5 fruits are not just about nutrition. They are about reclaiming control, embracing vitality, and choosing to age with power and purpose. But let's get real for a moment. I know that changing habits can be hard. You might be thinking, it's too late for me, or I've never been good with nutrition. And to that I say, it's never too late to start. I've seen patients in their 70s and even 80s who made small changes, like adding half an avocado to breakfast or drinking a bit of tart cherry juice before bed. And within weeks they felt stronger, slept better, and moved with more confidence. One patient of mine, Mr. Carlos, 74 years old, had trouble getting up from a chair without using his arms. We didn't start with a gym membership or supplements. We started with his diet. A few weeks of adding pomegranate juice in the morning and a small bowl of dried plums as a snack, alongside light walks. And guess what? He started rising from chairs on his own, with a smile on his face. That's the kind of change we're talking about. Small, steady, and powerful. And let me be clear, this isn't about perfection. You don't need to eat all 5 fruits every single day. The goal is variety, consistency, and listening to your body. Maybe you start by swapping a sugary dessert for an apple, or replacing a bag of chips with some cherries. Every small swap matters, and over time, those swaps add up to more strength, better balance, and a longer, more independent life. Let's also talk about taste, because eating for your muscles doesn't have to feel like a chore. Avocado toast with a sprinkle of salt and lemon? Delicious. Greek yogurt with pomegranate seeds? Refreshing. A baked apple with cinnamon? Comforting and muscle-friendly. Nutrition should be something you look forward to, not endure. That's part of the beauty of using fruits. They bring flavor, color, and joy to your plate. Some people ask me, "Doctor, should I just take supplements with these ingredients instead?" And my answer is, food first, always. Whole fruits deliver a complex combination of nutrients, fibers, and bioactive compounds that no pill can replicate. Your body recognizes and uses nutrients from real food more effectively. Supplements can help in specific cases, but they're never a substitute for a healthy whole food diet. That said, be mindful of portion sizes, especially if you have conditions like diabetes. While these fruits are incredibly beneficial, they still contain natural sugars. The key is balance. Pair fruits with protein or healthy fat to stabilize blood sugar. For example, enjoy your apple with a spoon of peanut butter, or your dried plums with a few almonds. It's all about smart combinations. And if mobility is already limited for you or someone you care about, don't worry. You don't need to run marathons to see muscle benefits. Simple movements, chair exercises, gentle yoga, or even walking from room to room with intention, when combined with the right foods, can stimulate muscle maintenance and growth. Nutrition fuels the fire, and movement fans the flame. One more thing, hydration. Muscles are 75% water, and dehydration makes them stiff, weak, and prone to cramps. Many of the fruits we've talked about, like watermelon, bonus fruit, apples, and cherries, help keep you hydrated naturally. But don't forget to drink water throughout the day. Think of it as the oil that keeps your engine running smoothly. And let's not forget the emotional side of eating. Sharing a fruit salad with your family, preparing a new recipe, or simply enjoying a quiet breakfast with your favorite fruit. These moments feed more than your muscles. They feed your soul. They connect you to life, to routine, and to self-care. Essential ingredients for healthy aging. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by complex health advice or pressured by fitness trends that don't fit your reality, pause, breathe. Remember this. Something as small as adding one powerful fruit to your plate each day can shift the trajectory of your health. It's not just about muscles. It's about reclaiming your strength, your independence, and your joy. And while we're on the subject of independence, let's talk about falls. One of the most serious risks of sarcopenia is the increased chance of falling. Every year, millions of older adults suffer falls that lead to broken bones, long hospital stays, and even loss of autonomy. But what's behind many of these falls? Weak muscles, poor balance, slow reflexes. That's why strengthening your muscles through food isn't just about fitness. It's about safety and freedom. It's heartbreaking to see someone lose their confidence after a fall. They start moving less, staying home more, and avoiding activities they used to love. But I've also seen the opposite. People who took small steps to rebuild their strength and regained their spark. And often it starts with something as simple as changing what's on the plate. A stronger body means a more confident mind. Let's not forget the role of mental health in this conversation. When your body feels strong, your mind follows. Depression and anxiety are unfortunately common in older adults, especially when mobility declines. But foods rich in antioxidants, like the fruits we've discussed, have been shown to support brain health too. They reduce inflammation in the brain, improve circulation, and even support memory and mood. Avocados, for instance, are rich in B vitamins and healthy fats that nourish both the brain and muscles. Apples help stabilize blood sugar, which can reduce mood swings. Cherries support sleep quality, and better sleep means better mental resilience. It's all connected. Eating for your muscles is also eating for your mind, your mood, and your peace of mind. And that's something we don't talk about enough. How food can be medicine not just for the body, but for the whole person. When you nourish yourself with purpose, when you choose foods that care for your future self, you're making a statement. I'm still here, I still matter, I still want to thrive. And believe me, that shift in mindset alone is powerful. Let me ask you, when was the last time you looked at your plate and thought, this is for my strength? Not for weight loss, not for numbers on a lab test, but for your ability to walk, lift, dance, hug, carry groceries, and enjoy life fully. That's what this is really about. Eating to live and live well. So if you're just starting out, here's a simple plan. Pick one of the 5 fruits we talked about. Add it to your routine for a week. Then next week, add another. Don't rush. Let it be sustainable. Let it become part of your rhythm. These fruits aren't just fuel. They're a daily reminder that your health is in your hands, one choice at a time, and involve others. Invite your partner, your children, or even your neighbors into this journey. Make a shared fruit salad. Try a new recipe together. Health is contagious. When people see you taking care of yourself, they're inspired to do the same. Community makes change easier and more joyful. There's something deeply human about choosing to care for ourselves, especially when we're told by society that it's normal to decline with age. But you don't have to accept that narrative. You can write your own. One where aging means gaining wisdom, yes, but also maintaining strength, purpose, and vitality. Remember, the power isn't in some distant, complicated treatment. It's in your next grocery list, your next breakfast, your next bite. And with each of those choices, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're feeding your future. So let's bring it all together. Sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle with age, may be common, but it is not a sentence. It is not destiny. And it is certainly not untouchable. Your body is more adaptable than you've been led to believe. Even after 60, 70, or 80 years of life, your muscles can respond. They can rebuild. They can grow stronger, with the right signals, the right nutrients, and the right mindset. And the 5 fruits we explored today? They are much more than dietary tips. They are tools to reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, deliver key vitamins and minerals, and support the very foundation of strength, muscle health. Avocado for its healthy fats and magnesium. Tart cherry for inflammation and recovery. Pomegranate for circulation. Prunes for bone and muscle preservation. Apple for regeneration and anti-aging compounds. Each with its own superpower. Each with a role to play in your health journey. But none of this works if it stays just in your head. The magic happens when knowledge becomes action. So I invite you, today, not next week, to choose one. Fruit, buy it, taste it, make it part of your day, feel how your body responds. Then try another. Let it be a joyful discovery, not a burden. And if you're a caregiver or family member to someone aging, share this information. Offer them these fruits not as a treatment, but as an act of care. A way to help them feel seen, supported, and empowered. Because health is not just personal, it's relational. It flows through conversations, meals shared, and encouragement given. Of course, I always need to add this reminder. While these strategies are rooted in science, every person is unique. Always consult with a healthcare provider before making major changes to your diet, especially if you have chronic conditions or take medications. This isn't about self-diagnosing. It's about self-caring. Empowerment with responsibility. I know how overwhelming it can feel to hear about health risks, conditions, and aging. But I want to leave you with a different kind of emotion. Not fear, but hope. Because in my years as a doctor, I've learned that hope isn't just a feeling. It's a strategy. And it starts with small, consistent steps in the right direction. You are not too old. You are not too late. And you are not alone. Whether you're already active or just starting out, you have what it takes to protect your muscles, your independence, and your joy. These fruits are an invitation to nourish yourself, to respect your body, and to reclaim the strength that's still within you. So, the next time you hold an apple, a cherry, or an avocado in your hand, I want you to see more than food. I want you to see a choice to live with more energy, more mobility, and more life. Because aging with strength is possible, and it can be delicious too. Let's rewrite the story we've been told about growing older, not one of decline and limitation, but of possibility and power. And let's start that story in the simplest way. One fruit, one bite, one day at a time. From my heart to yours. Thank you for caring for your health, for listening, and for believing that your body is still worth investing in. Because it is. Always.